Hello, Aries, and welcome to your reading for the week of February 20th through 26th, 2024. This is a reading for you if you're an Aries Sun, Aries Moon, Aries Rising, or have another significant Aries placement in your chart. If you're returning to this channel, welcome back. It's good to have you again. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you do find these video helpful, whether you're returning or new. I do these readings according to the 12 houses of astrology. So I will be interpreting the cards in terms of the meaning of each house. If you're not familiar with astrology, that'll become clear to you pretty quickly. If you are, then you may know what the house system is. And the cards that I use in these particular readings, I use the Cartouche deck, which is an Egyptian system, and then I will clarify with a tarot deck. This week I am using the Tarot Classic deck. And I usually use an oracle deck at the end. This one I'm going to use a little different one. One I'm actually going to read from the booklet for each one because there's so much in it that I don't want to just go with the meaning on the card. And that is the Wisdom of the Tao Oracle by Meijing Liu. So it's we're gonna look at all of these. And as again I said, whether you are an Aries Sun or whether you are what they call a cross watcher, looking at other aspects of your chart where Aries is prominent, this reading may be for you. Down in the description below, I have a link to my website, to my my PayPal, and also to my social media for anybody who might be interested in either the other services that I offer or anybody who might be interested in donating, which some people do. And I want to say thank you very much to those of you who donate. Okay, so I laid the cards out in advance just to save a little time. And wow, this week, Aries, there's a whole lot of messengers in this reading. In fact, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 court cards in this reading out of 12 positions. So both knights and pages tend to bring messages, and they also can bring action. So yeah, there just seems to be a lot around messages or back and forth this week for you. Let's start at the first house, which is your own energy, Aries energy. This is you, your personality, how you present yourself to the world. And you have Sirius with the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so there's some real serious, no pun intended. There's real serious, how do I want to put this? Okay, well, Knight of Pentacles, okay, we were just talking about the knights and movement. Well, this is the one knight that doesn't move. Okay, this is somebody who is... likes to take things slowly, gradually, somebody who's very practical, trying to look at something over a long period of time. We have it with Sirius. So Sirius indicates, this can indicate, physical, this can have to do with physical, being focused on the physical, okay? Whether it be your own physical health, whether this is about, I don't know, there seems to be a level of endurance with Sirius, okay? So in seeing it with the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like, how can I put this? I almost feel like, okay, like, while Knight of Pentacles is not a card of struggle, I feel like with Sirius that you might be struggling with something, okay? Like there's some level of endurance, this need to take the rough with the smooth, trying to work something out, trying to think outside the box. Like there's a strong physical component to Sirius, but I feel like there's also a lot of mental gymnastics that are going on. And they may be connected to maybe how you can either, this seems to be connected to your own sense of security, whether it's financial or otherwise. But Knight of Pentacles, I feel like what's happening here is like you're kind of trying to keep things comfortable and maybe as they are, or maybe if you are growing something, you want to slow something down or go more slowly with something. But I feel like with Sirius, that might be being stretched or tested a little bit. I hope that makes sense there. Second house, this has to do with your finances. This is Taurus energy. This is personal finance, your values, your possessions. And yeah, you have Ta with the Knight of Cups. So this is interesting because this could be a work invitation of some kind, something connected to your finances, because Ta is very much about, this is creative, okay? Ta's the master maker, the master builder. So this may be about structuring things. For some of you, maybe this is about making investments, because Ta is about taking a broader perspective or trying to, to deal with things in the, in more of a big picture and more of like, having the 12-month plan or the the 5-year plan or whatever. Like, I feel like in the money house that's more of the element of Ta. It's very strong Capricorn energy. It fits very well with the Knight of Pentacles here. So I think you are perhaps, getting very practical about your money, about building a solid foundation for something. And Knight of Cups here, so this could be an invitation from somebody. I don't know if this is about you making an invitation to somebody. Maybe there's some kind of a offer, opportunity, or invitation connected to your security. You could be working with a financial planner or something like that. I mean, that might be true for some people, not necessarily. But Knight of Cups definitely has this invitational energy. And Knight of Cups, sometimes Knight of Cups can bring distractions too. But I feel like I don't know, that there's an element of inviting something, and I feel like it's like you're laying the foundation either for an invitation or because of an invitation, or somebody's inviting you to do something that maybe you feel is going to help build up what you have financially. So take it as it resonates. I feel like it could be any one of those things, and because this is a general reading, I'm just going to be covering all bases. So take what resonates and leave the rest. Third house. This is Gemini energy. So this is about messages. This is about anything to do with Mercury. So travel, like short distance travel, not long distance travel. Messages that are more of a practical nature rather than, say, a deep nature. So something connected to communication and messages. Perhaps if you're self-employed, this could be connected to your business. Could also be connected to sibling relationships. Okay. So we have Nephthys here. So for somebody, this could have to do, this is strong sister energy in the house of brothers and sisters. So this could pertain to somebody's sister in this position, but doesn't necessarily have to, and isn't necessarily the way I would normally read it in this house. But if that resonates for you with this, then maybe it does. But Nephthys, I feel like the general meaning of this card is more of a not yetness, if that makes sense. Nephthys has to do with something that has not happened yet. It's not something that isn't going to happen. It's something that hasn't happened yet. So there could be a message that you're waiting for. Now you have this with the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is interesting because this is a card of feeling defeated, sometimes of feeling jealous. It's a card that says that it's a card of limitation. So I don't know. I have a feeling there may be a message you're waiting for. Like maybe you're feeling defeated about something, maybe about a message that hasn't arrived, or about a business opportunity that hasn't arrived yet. Or maybe it has something to do with the communication with the sibling, with the sister. I don't know. I mean, again, different for everybody, not going to be the same thing. You can decide which aspect of this applies to you. But I can't help but feeling like you're feeling defeated and like you want to walk away from something, or like you failed at something, or maybe there's a jealousy or a competition. Maybe you're feeling it's something you can't win. But Nephthys is saying, I feel like Nephthys is saying here, don't get caught up in this thinking pattern. Don't get caught up in this pattern of, oh well, I quit, I give up. This is more of a pattern of self-defeating behavior. Okay, I feel like this is strongly that this is self-defeat. And with Nephthys, it indicates that whatever it is that you're feeling defeated about, whether this has to do with business, whether this has to do with messages that are going back and forth, whether this does have to do with the family situation, Nephthys is just saying something has not happened yet. And you may be jumping the gun. Like I said, I'm seeing, like you have the Knight of Swords over here. We've got the two knights there. I feel like you're anxious to kind of get on with something or settle something, or I don't know. There's something here, and whatever you feel like you need to happen isn't happening yet. There's a message you haven't received. There's something maybe connected to your business that's not happening. And so this is saying, it hasn't happened yet. Don't let yourself be defeated here. Whatever the situation is, it's just something that hasn't happened yet, but it will happen. Okay, so let's look at the fourth house. This is Cancer energy. This has to do with your home. It can do with family and family situations. It also has to do with anything with ancestry, anything with your sense of security, and also potentially with the mother. Okay, now this is interesting because we do have strong childhood energy here. We have the Six of Cups. So, and with the wing disc. Okay, so this is happening in the home sector. So I don't know if something is happening with family. I mean, wing disc definitely seems to indicate success, overcoming problems. So if there has been any kind of a family issue indicated here, then it seems like it will be solved to your satisfaction. If there's an issue within your home, this also indicates something being solved. With the Six of Cups here, I feel like, and I feel like actually for some of you at least, given that I'm seeing the Knight of Cups in Sirius in the first house, and seeing this in the fourth house, this may be connected particularly to your sense of security. So the Six of Cups, I feel like, is something revisiting from the past, whether it's a person, a pattern, a situation. I mean, at best, Six of Cups is nostalgia for childhood. At worst, the Six of Cups is just continually repeating past scripts and patterns that don't serve you anymore, okay? So again, wherever you fall on the gamut of that. But the fact that I'm seeing Sirius here, I don't know. I feel like there may be something connected to your security, whether it's finances or something else, that is making you feel stressed or strained. Like you have to look at something differently. Like there's a pattern here that you have to break out of. And this definitely promises that you will, okay? That you will have success in whatever this is you might be moving past. But it's almost like something from the past is revisiting. It's kind of in your face and saying, okay, solve me. Now, interestingly, this is the Six of Cups. And in the first house, which I feel is connected here, you have card 15, and 1 + 5 is 6. So the numerology here, I feel like the number 6 may be relevant here. So maybe this is something you're going to solve in 6 days, in 6 weeks. I'm not feeling 6 months for some reason. I feel like if it's going to be something, it's going to be 6 days or 6 weeks. And it might not be any of that at all. I mean, again, general reading, that's just maybe very specific for one person. But yeah, whatever this is, there's some pattern that's been on repeat here, something that needs to, from the past, that needs to be solved or let go of, or properly integrated. Memories and so forth, where maybe we need to take away, between what's pleasant and unpleasant, trying to find the things that perhaps have been unpleasant and finding a way to see how they fit in, or if it's something that's affecting our sense of security, how do we work with that? So you've got wing disc here. And so, yeah, this definitely promises overcoming whatever difficulties or whatever past situations need to be reconciled and integrated. I feel like that's going to happen. And maybe with the help of family, too. I mean, the fact that it's showing up in that particular house. Okay, so fifth house is Leo energy. This is creativity, children, love affairs. And it can also be connected to recreation or leisure. Okay, so we have water with the Knight of Swords. Okay, so Knight of Swords is air energy, so that's energy that's connected to Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, but doesn't necessarily have to have anything to do with those signs. Water, of course, would be connected to potentially water signs of Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, but again, I don't necessarily think this is sign specific unless you feel that resonates. Now, if this has to do with a love affair, okay, or a love interest, like if you're single and looking for love, or maybe you're dating somebody, you're looking to date somebody, this is showing a situation that is moving or changing. So this is actually good news if you've had a stagnant situation, okay, where maybe you feel like something is stuck or not moving. This definitely shows movement. Of course, we have this with the Knight of Swords, and so this is interesting. Now, the Knight of Swords, again, there's a spectrum of interpretation here. This could be a situation where you act too rashly or too fast, or maybe say something you don't mean to say, or maybe you jump to a conclusion. Like there's just this idea of, acting in too much haste. On the other hand, Knight of Swords can also mean that you may want to kind of roll with a change and just jump in and do something, okay? I'm going to look at the seventh house and see how that connects to this, if this does have to do with a love affair. Now, if this has to do with a creative project, I mean, same thing. It could be a situation where you are kind of going with the flow on something, and, this may be something where you feel like you want to jump on an opportunity or act really fast. Knights also tend to bring messages, so whether it's giving or sending or getting messages. The fact that I have the Five of Swords over here, I don't know if you've received a message that you consider to be harsh or critical, or whether you're the person who's delivered that message. But yeah, there seems to be, I don't know, I feel like there's like a sharpness here to this. So I don't know whether this has to do with a project. This could have to do with a situation with a child too, if that applies to you. or this might have to do with a love affair, or maybe somebody you want to date if you're single. I feel like there's a situation where you want to kind of go with the flow of things. You may not want to rush things. I mean, you've got this Knight of Pentacles energy here, but maybe you're feeling like you either have to act fast on something. I don't know. I just feel like there's something very sudden here, like some very sudden action on something and sudden movement. And what I'm getting in my head is like, it's something that hasn't been moving is now moving. So again, if you've been interested in somebody and it seems like it's going nowhere, this may be good, good news. But I feel like the Knight of Swords is saying, the fast action might be called for, but I feel like be careful of, like, don't jump to conclusions is what I'm hearing. Or don't, I feel like there may be a rash negative judgment on something, and you don't, again, like with this Five of Swords, I feel like some of this may be coming out of a defeatist attitude or behavior. So, so definitely, I feel like you need to follow your heart here. Your head may be too involved in something that's going on. I think that might be the best way to say that. Okay, 6th house is Virgo energy, and Virgo has to do with your health. If you work a job, this would have to potentially do with that. This is a house of service. It can have to do with worries and anxieties, and also potentially with pets, if you have a pet. We have Osiris with the 3 of Cups. So, okay. So, all right. So in the health house, this is a good thing. I mean, this would definitely indicate stable health, good situation. So that's all a good thing. There may be worries about stability here with Osiris here. Now, again, I think Osiris is assuring you that things are stable. Okay. So if there's a situation where maybe you're worried about something, maybe a situation that you've acted too quickly, this is assuring you that things are stable. And that things are kind of still moving along. Now, the 3 of Cups, there's a very social aspect to this. Now, if it has to do with work, I'm seeing the Knight of Cups over here. This could be a third party coming in, or this could be a collaboration. I mean, 3 of Cups generally has to do with, celebrations. It can have to do with reconciliations with people, but it can also have to do with just, going out, to a social event, a party or something. There's a strong celebratory aspect to the 3 of Cups. It's a card of abundance, really. I think that's the way it's characterized in most of the esoteric decks, as a card of abundance. So, but what I'm seeing here, what's actually coming into my head here, and maybe that's what this has to do with here, is that for some people, you may be worried about a third party. Like, you may be worried that in some situation, whether we're talking a business situation or a financial situation or family situation or a love situation, or maybe you feel there's a third party involved that you don't, and maybe this is somebody who is friendly, or I don't know. The 3 of Cups generally indicates somebody where there's either love or friendship that's involved in the equation. But there's this third party energy, and I feel like, so for some people, I think maybe you're worried that there's going to be a third party involved in something. I don't know. That's what I'm kind of getting in my head. And with Osiris here, I think it's more or less, this is a 3-ness. This has a 1-ness to it. So I feel like if you are thinking about a third party situation, I'm not sure that there really is one. In fact, this is showing a situation that is very happy, that is very abundant, that is social, that is playful. So, and again, I'm thinking about this in terms of what I'm seeing over here with the 5 of Swords. I think that you're being reassured here that things are stable and that you want to sort of, relax, enjoy, be social. A 3 of Cups definitely suggests that there's an abundance here, both an emotional abundance and perhaps a material abundance too. And certainly, if you're not feeling like that's abundant, then certainly you have a stable situation at any rate. So take that as it resonates, but that's what's coming into my head for that one. Okay, 7th house is Libra energy, so we'll see how that relates to our 5th house here. Because this house has to do with love affairs, like unlegalized situations. This has to do with more serious commitments. So a marriage, for instance. It can have to do with anything that involves contracts, because there's a strong legal element. Libra is the scales of justice, right? So this has to do with has a strong legal feel to it as well. And, okay, so we have Pyramid with the 10 of Wands. So for some people, okay, so this indicates a test situation. And the fact that I'm seeing the Knight of Swords here, I'm thinking that some of you, there's a relationship that is, this could be within a marriage, okay? You could be tested if you are married. This could be saying that there is some kind of a burden that needs to be dropped, that, there's a test situation that's going on here. If you're not married and looking for or looking at a particular person or a situation and wanting to know whether or not it's going to be long-term, 10 of Wands would indicate a situation where you need to drop a burden, okay? Something has to be dropped. And I feel like you're being tested on this in some way. I feel like, for some of you, I feel like this may have to do with business or with your money. This could have to do with a business arrangement, like a business partnership. But I feel like for some people, it's almost like whether you're in a marriage or whether you're wanting to be in a committed relationship, it's like there's something that's taking up too much of your time. You're carrying too many wands here. It's too big of a burden. And you may be feeling defeated about that. That might be our 5 of Swords here. And maybe if this isn't a romantic situation, maybe you've overreacted to something. Maybe you've reacted too quickly to somebody, perhaps because you're overburdened and overstressed. But Pyramid indicates this is a test situation, and ultimately Pyramid brings about good outcomes. It also, if you were thinking about something long-term, this definitely has a long-term vibe to it. Now, it's straight across from the first house when we have the Knight of Pentacles. So when I look at this together, this seems to indicate a situation that is growing over time, okay? But there does seem to be something connected with a relationship, whether this is a business relationship or some other kind of legal relationship, or whether this is a marriage or prospective marriage. It does seem like there's a test going on here, and it does seem like there's something you have to drop or let go of. Now, where else did I see this? Down in your house of security, the 6 of Cups, like there's something... even though this is not, the 5 of Cups is a card of letting go. The 6 of Cups suggests to me a repeating past situation. And even the 3 of Cups, to some degree, can indicate a situation that's coming around. But the fact that this is showing up, I have to look at what your house of business looks like. But there's something with communications here where you are definitely feeling stuck or defeated. And I have a feeling that it's part of this. Like maybe it's something about a relationship that's a burden, or maybe you want to take something to the next level but can't because you're overburdened, perhaps by work or perhaps by some kind of a thing where you're feeling like, I don't know. It is saying this is something that's going to be solved with time, okay? So this is a challenge or a test for you, and I feel like we're seeing that challenge or test down here. Like there's something... Because there's something, the 6 of Cups down here also has to do with strong soul connections. A lot of times this shows up when you're dealing with somebody. Now, whether this is a family member or whether this is just somebody affecting your sense of security or whatever. But I feel like this is just like a very significant connection that comes in, okay? And that maybe is forcing you to think differently, or maybe where you're feeling stuck or limited or trapped. Like there's cards here. We have cards here of you feeling like trapped and feeling like, I don't know, I can't do it. But that's the energy that I have here. So I don't know. Take it as it resonates. Certainly there seems to be something in connection either with an existing relationship or a prospective one where it seems like there's a burden that needs to be dropped. There's some kind of test here. All right, let's go to 8th house, Scorpio energy. Scorpio is the house of transformations. So this has to do with bigger change, longer term, big picture kind of stuff, and also with other people's money. Okay, so we have fire with the Page of Swords. Okay, this is I feel like this is a very specific message for one person. I don't feel like this applies generally to all of you, Aries, but somebody here is obsessed with somebody, okay? You've got the Page of Swords, which is this idea of kind of secrecy, not saying things, doing behind the scenes. And you have it with fire. Like there's like a secret passion or something that you're hiding. Because this is a very strong house of sex and sexuality here. So there's somebody who it's almost like that you are watching. That's what I keep getting in my head. It's like you're watching somebody. Could be somebody's watching you. But I feel more like this is you. Like there's some kind of a situation that's ongoing, where there's a lot of passion here. That might explain some of this down here, because it just seems like there's a lot of sharp emotions, overthinking, self-sabotage. I don't know. There's something going on here. But Page of Swords, this is typically a card of like wanting more information about something. It's a card of, and things that are going on behind the scenes, like, not being obvious about something. Sometimes it has to do with gossip. In the eighth house, I don't know. With fire, I almost feel like it's something. There's something here that you're like. There's a passion here, but there's something that's not being shown, or something not being upfront about something with the Page of Swords. That's what I feel. But for some of you, if that's not the case, then this could be a case of, fire has to do with resolving situations, being inspired, getting rid of things that don't matter anymore, like trying to clean all of that up. And the Page of Swords can be also a card of needing to seek more information before acting on something. So this is, I don't know, but normally I would not take that particular point of view, but for some reason that just jumped in my head. There's somebody who's got a very strong passion that they're not sharing with somebody. It's like there's, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's connected to this energy down here. Like there's something, somebody's especially with the Knight of Swords down here. We've got the Knight of Swords, we've got the Page of Swords. There's a whole lot here. Maybe you're listening to gossip. Maybe there's mental energy that's going on. I don't know. There's a lot here that suggests to me that, about limiting thoughts, a certain amount of struggle, a certain amount of the past influence. Definitely a lot of burdens that need to be, you've got fire in the Ten of Wands. This is ultimate double fire here. A lot of fire. I don't know. So I'm feeling like I think as a piece of advice here, I would just say, there's a problem that you need to resolve. You need to get information. You need to get on the right track with something. And like I said, there is a possibility that you are obsessively looking at a person or situation. But I will say this about that. If that does apply to you, okay, if there's something that really occupies a lot of your headspace, or that you're extremely impassioned about, again, whether it's a person or whether it's in some other kind of situation, Page of Swords would be, you have to remember that sometimes when you have an obsessive attitude or behavior, it may be blinding you to the fastest way to go or the fastest way to solve something. It isn't necessarily what's going to help you. You want to take a step back, and you want to get information. You want to, Knight of Swords here. You may be thinking rashly or acting rashly about something, or you may be drawing conclusions based on gossip or something. Like there's something here where you're not having all of the information. But again, like fire, like you have the winged disc here, you've got this idea of movement here, you've got this idea of solving. So I don't know, I feel, Aries, like whatever this problem is, however this ends up applying to you, it is something that you will be inspired to resolve, okay? To get out of this kind of mode of not knowing or overthinking or maybe jumping to conclusions. But again, and if you're watching this and saying, gee, this doesn't apply to me, then I would definitely just say that there's some kind of a situation that needs resolving, and you want to make sure you're getting the facts and not listening to gossip. That would be the more general meaning that I would put there. Okay, let's look at the 9th house, Sagittarius energy. So this has to do with long distance travel, with deeper thought, higher education, educational institutions, religious institutions, and sometimes legal matters. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups with the twins here. So for some of you, this represents new love, okay? Because pages bring they bring messages. Could even be apologies sometimes. Page of Cups sometimes brings an apology. But it is there's definitely this sense of a, to me, I feel like this could be just kind of either the beginning of a romantic situation or a new romance. It doesn't have to be. It could just be a new partnership of some kind that is that may be emotionally fulfilling in some way. Okay, so if you're saying, well, it's not a romantic thing, it could be, this could just bring something that makes you happy or is emotionally satisfying. Okay, Now, so why is this showing up in the ninth house? Well, you could be dealing with somebody who is at a distance, okay? So this could be somebody who's far away. It could be somebody who belongs to an educational institution. So maybe, like, for example, if you're in school, like maybe this is somebody you know from college or university, could be something like that. Can also potentially relate to religious organizations. So if you do happen to be somebody who's active in a church or some other kind of thing, you could relate to that too. So again, take it as it resonates, but it does seem like there's some kind of a partnership either at a distance or as part of one of these kinds of institutions potentially. That definitely shows some kind of new promise, or at least, bringing messages of something new that's either love or just something that is going to be very emotionally satisfying. Okay. 10th house, Capricorn energy. So this has to do with your fame, career, and reputation. And wow, so you're doing great in this, and it's interesting. You're doing really great in this, Aries, okay? Because you've got the 6 of Wands, which means you're being very successful. Crook and flail indicates being, seen, being visibility, great visibility, being seen as an authority, taking a step up in something. So I definitely feel like you're, to use the Osho Zen phrase for this card, you're riding the tiger, you're riding high on something. So I feel like things are going very well for you career-wise, which is why this is interesting. Now, of course, this is a house of self-employment, so this doesn't have to be about self-employment. You could be working for somebody and getting a promotion and being recognized. I mean, that could be as well. But it's interesting because I'm still seeing this, there are these kinds of offers and opportunities that seem to be coming in. So maybe there's going to be some kind of a new financial offer, or maybe you're thinking about building something, especially because you're having this kind of success here. I feel like you're thinking more about the long-term, Aries, like you're thinking about the bigger picture, and maybe there's some decisions that you've made or there's some situations where you're, I don't know. I feel like there's certain aspects of things where you feel limited and overburdened. But there's also this sense that things are actually, there's a lot of things are actually good. Your health is good. If you are in a job, it seems like the job situation is going well. And if there has been a difficulty, it does seem like it is most definitely going to be overcome and you're going to be successful. This is a card of leadership, and this is a card of leadership. So this is you taking charge, which definitely makes sense because you're definitely a fire sign, you're Mars ruled. You definitely have that action-oriented, can-do kind of attitude. So so if job or career has been on the in question, this definitely seems like things are going very, very well for you. With 6 of Wands, though, sometimes there's an energy of, okay, this is where we are now. Now, what's the longer term going to look like? And again, that kind of makes sense with Ta. There's this element of building. Now, this is jumping into my head here. Okay, Crook and Flail is card 17, so 1 plus 7 is 8, and then Ta is card number 8. So I feel like the number 8 may be significant to your career. Maybe something happening in 8 days, 8 weeks. Again, it could be 8 months, but I'm feeling more like 8 days, 8 weeks. Again, and just to let you know, the number may or may not be relevant. You can make a note of it and see whether or not it applies. Okay. So we have the 11th house, Aquarius energy. So Aquarius is your friendships, your social networks, your hopes and wishes, your destiny. And okay, so here we have Seth. So I don't know. So I'm wondering if some of these difficulties that we're seeing here has to do with a friendship or somebody through your social networks or business networks. I don't know, because there just seems like there is some kind of a problem. And the only other real problems I'm seeing here are connected to either messages or to relationships. So I don't know. There definitely seems like there's something connected to a hope or wish of yours where you're feeling stuck in some way. Now, we have, we always draw a second card with Seth in Cartouche. So we have the Scarab. So Scarab indicates that something is changing. It also seems to indicate that something ending or something has to go. I feel like there's like a new start here. We have all these pages and these knights. So I feel like there is something either connected to a hope and wish or connected to a friend situation where a change is coming. This maybe is something new that's coming in. I feel like, given it has to do with relationships, this 10 of Wands in the 7th house has something to do with it, because I feel more like this is about a new beginning that comes from dropping an obstacle. Okay? It's like a new beginning. And you have the Queen of Cups here. So this definitely seems to be connected to love for some of you. I mean, it could just be, sometimes Queen of Cups could indicate a water sign female, potentially, or just a female who is, who's very emotional, or maybe somebody who you have feelings for. Maybe they have feelings for you. You know, it might be mutual. Maybe maybe this is the person that you're feeling this way about. Maybe you're feeling like, because I'm seeing it's across from this Knight of Swords, and so there's this element of almost like, oh no, I spoke too soon and effed up, you know, kind of a thing. And but I don't know. I feel like, okay, what I'm getting in my head here is that sometimes when we make a mistake, it's an unexpected, or when we feel like we're in a situation where we're ready to give up or it's hopeless, sometimes it's actually a way of achieving our goal by an unusual route. So sometimes what looks like a failure actually turns into a success. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. In any case, if this is connected to a problem with a relationship, I feel like there is going to be a change or a new beginning or a new start. I don't feel like this is an end, okay? Because a different card would appear here, I think, if this was going to completely end. Scarab just indicates that there may be a problem, but the problem is coming up, or you're hitting this wall because things need to change, okay? And I feel like for some of you, this is definitely connected to love, okay? Now, if it's not, if you're saying, no, that doesn't have anything to do with it, then you might want to see whether or not there is a water sign person involved, or just somebody. I mean, Queen of Cups doesn't have to be female either. There is a strong emotional sense here. Usually we connect this with love, but you know, it could have to do with another situation. So take it as it resonates. Okay, and so now we have the 12th house, Pisces energy. Pisces energy has to do with what you are afraid of, what's hidden, what you are not, what you don't show to other people. Okay, so you have Thoth with the 5 of Cups. So we have another 5 here now. Now this is the card of letting go of the past, okay? And with Thoth, this to me has a lot to do with timing and what I think we will call divine timing. I feel like it's definitely time for you to be, like, I don't know, I feel like there's shifts and changes, and the fact that we have the Knight of Pentacles here, I'm not so sure, Aries, that you're ready. I think you know changes are coming or have to come, and I don't think you're quite ready for them. I think there's this this need to let go of the past. I feel like it's time. And again, we have a double 5 here. 5 energy, you've got a few 5s here. Now we've got, what other numbers do we have? I think I mentioned 8. And we've also got some 6s. And then, yeah, we have all of these people who are involved. Yeah, and seeing all these people cards in this deck also makes me think that maybe there's too many people in the mix here. Maybe you're listening to too many different people. Maybe you need to kind of pull away and figure out what, listen to your own inner voice and not to the voices of other people. But there also definitely seems to be a need to let go of a past situation here, or a past hurt, because we had this with the 5 of Cups, but it's showing up in the house of what's either unconscious or what you're not showing people. So yeah, I feel like there's something there. And Thoth definitely indicates, Thoth has a lot to do with karma. So I almost feel like it's something like either a karmic debt that's been paid, or something that's run its course or had its time, and it's time to kind of move on from it, And indeed, overall, you have air. So there's changes coming. Air certainly seems to indicate that it's possible you're taking things more seriously than you should. Like maybe you're seeing something as much more dire than what it is. So air definitely indicates movement and change and keeping things, lightening up a bit, taking a step back. And you also have it with judgment. So yeah, judgment is definitely a card of, you need to make a decision about something. And again, it fits in with the 6 of Cups and with some of these other ones that are definitely about, okay, it's time to, time to make a decision about something. There's something that seems to be connected to a relationship, or perhaps to your work as well, where you have to make certain decisions, and there's certain things that you have to decide what stays and what goes. But this is definitely pushing you towards something new. It's not pushing you towards hanging on to the past, or even necessarily trying to stay where you are in all aspects. Because, if there's aspects of what you're doing right now that are making you feel limited, A change is definitely coming. Okay, so this reading is running on quite long, so let's pull a Wisdom of the Tao card. And your card is the Tiger. It's the Confidence card. Okay, so let me read to you what that says, just so you can have it, because there is a thing on the card, but let's see, it's back here. Here we go. All right. Let me see if I can read this. This is a Fortunate card. It is a card of authority and dignity. At the moment, the situation you're involved in is under control. You can move forward slowly and steadily. Your gift of clairvoyance and it's hard to read this, sorry. And clairaudience, I think, help you accurately assess the situation and make the right decisions along the way. Okay, so you know what it is? They have this symbol here, and it makes it hard for me to see it. Your hunger for knowledge will constantly take you on a journey. It might be physical, spiritual, or mental. You always return refreshed and restored, but you remain modest. Okay. Remember, you are a natural leader, and often a source of inspiration to others. You are an original, unconventional thinker. You are brimming with ideas and generate tremendous energy and enthusiasm. But if you are overconfident, you may miss some critical steps. Be patient when it comes to passion and romance. You attract many, but don't be too impulsive in making a decision you may later regret. Even though you are extremely capable, you sometimes let others manipulate you. You may seem rough on the outside, but you have the heart of the goddess of compassion, Kuan Yin. Getting this card may signify that you need to bolster your confidence and self-esteem. Although you find it difficult and do not have the heart to end a dysfunctional relationship, you may have to learn to say no. Tiger is connected to wood energy, which is associated with emotions. Don't criticize yourself when you have mood swings, because you are quite sensitive to feelings and are easily drawn into the subconscious world of emotions, especially past life memories. When you get too emotional, it is a sign that you have too much wood energy. Excessive wood energy can be decreased by acquiring some water element, for example, by soaking in a salt bath, or by adding a metal element, such as engaging in repair work around the house using metal tools. It is absolutely essential that your body gets continued nurturing from drinking water. You can also find healing elements from lakes, brooks, and oceans. A balanced diet, regular exercise, and sufficient sleep are crucial in settling your emotions. Okay, sorry that took me so long to read through, but I need better lighting in this house. It's just, or I need better glasses or something. But it's just, yeah, the print on that was very, very small. But I always feel these are worth reading the whole thing. So hopefully that resonates. I do feel like it resonates with what we see the tone is of this reading. Thank you so much for watching this week, Aries. I hope this is helpful, and have a great week. And be sure to like, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and also leave me a comment if you choose. Take care. See you next week.